Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Engines of Conrail. In this video, we're going to be diving into one of the most iconic workhorses of American railroading, the EMD SD40-2, and its storied history with Conrail. Let's get started. By now, most rail fans, model railroaders, and people that grew up with the SD40-2 agree it hardly needs an introduction, as it's one of the most iconic and popular locomotives of the 70s and 80s. It played a vital role across dozens of railroads, and even today, it is not uncommon to see them in local and yard duties. In 1976, Conrail launched operations and quickly realized the need for a new 6-axle standard cab locomotive to phase out its aging fleet of EMD SD45s, inherited from Penn Central, Erie, Lackawanna, and Reading. EMD's catalog at the time featured the GP15, F40PH, and the rising star, the SD40-2. Conrail chose the SD40-2 for a strong reputation which was growing in popularity across North America, Canada, and other places. The first SD40-2s rolled into service with Conrail in June 1977. Once on the roster, they were immediately put into service, hauling coal trains through Pennsylvania's mountainous terrain, acting as helper sets to shove trains up Horseshoe Curve, powering intermodal runs, and handling all sorts of mainline assignments across the system. While the SD45s had much horsepower, they were plagued with high fuel consumption, mechanical complexity, and reliability issues. This also included wheel slip problems on heavy grades. This often tore up the rails. Here's Mom, I'm trying to film. This also included wheel slip problems on heavy grades. This often tore up the rails and causing damage. Conrail's move to the SD40-2 helped solve these issues for Conrail themselves and their customers. The EMD SD40-2 came with a C-C wheel arrangement, were 68 feet 10 inches in length, 15 feet 7 inches tall, and 10 feet 3 inches wide. These locomotives, while not the heaviest on the roster, tipped the scales at 368,000 pounds, equivalent to 184 US tons. Power came from a turbocharged 3,000 horsepower EMD 16645 E3 prime mover with an AR-10 generator and a D14 alternator. They have a 3,200 gallon fuel tank, DC traction motors, 115,000 pounds of starting tractive effort, and 82,000 pounds of continuous tractive effort. They were geared for a top speed of 65 miles an hour with a 62-to-15 gear ratio. The SD in SD40-2 stands for Special Duty, 40 is for the model series, and -2 designates it as part of EMD's -2 line between 72 and 89. EMD produced a staggering 3,982 SD40-2s, making them the best-selling diesel locomotive in American history. Correction, they are the second best-selling in American history, but when referring to second-gen diesels, they're the best-selling, so yeah. Conrail rostered theirs as 6358 to 6524. Train crews quickly grew fond of them, reliable and fuel efficient they were. The 167 SD40s Conrail purchased significantly reduced operating costs. Other railroads that would order or later receive SD40-2s include ATSF, BN, B&O, C&W, Illinois Central Gulf, KCS, L&N,
the Milwaukee Road,
Missouri Pacific, Rock Island, Seaboard Coastline, Sioux Line, Norfolk and Western, Southern Railway, Union Pacific, Southern Pacific, Rio Grande, Cotton Belt, Algoma Central, BC Rail, CP, CN, Ontario Northland, and Quebec North Shore and Labrador. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to... What the sus was that? Over in New Jersey, on May 15, 1984, two Conrail trains collide head-on due to a signal misalignment. Two SD40-2s were involved and seriously damaged, ultimately getting scrapped in the end. After word reached the railroad, a wrecking crane was brought in to help clean up the mess of twisted metal and rail. This was during a time where Conrail and many railroads handled wrecks for themselves rather than contacting R.J. Corman like many railroads do today. The cleanup took 4 to 5 days, and afterward, updated safety systems were installed to prevent such an accident from ever happening again. Despite the incident, the SD40-2s pressed on under Conrail ownership for 2 decades. However, by the 90s, things would begin to change. In 1995, Norfolk Southern, a competitor to Conrail, showed interest in buying the railroad, though no official deal was set. In 1996, CSX and Conrail announced plans to merge, which triggered Norfolk Southern to offer once again. In 1997, Conrail stockholders voted to reject CSX's offer in favor of NS, which of course triggered CSX to file an application to divide Conrail between the two railroads. In 1998, the split was accepted, and in June 1999, Conrail was officially part of CSX and NS. In the end, NS did actually get more of the merger, so yeah. Following the split, the SD40-2 fleet, along with Conrail's other locomotives, were divided. Unfortunately, the specific amount of how many each railroad got remains unknown, as I couldn't find any sources that actually said how many they each got. And now, over 25 years later, many Conrail SD40-2s remain in service with CSX and NS. They're bright blue covered by CSX Dark Future and NS Jet Black. Their horns changed. Some were rebuilt, but they still carry their Conrail legacy and will continue to do so for the rest of their long life. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Engines of Conrail. If you liked it, be sure to like and subscribe. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe later. As for episode 6, I'm actually not certain which locomotive I'm going to do next. Which one I'm thinking of documenting next. I was considering another SD series locomotive, but if you do have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one.